Hi, my name is Bianca Dimitri. I'm the founder of Fearless Females, and it's a nonprofit organization that supports survivors of domestic violence and intimate partner abuse in general. This is a video blog. I've been encouraging people to make video blogs and to speak out about their experiences in hopes that other people would watch them and feel like they weren't alone, realize that it's happening to a lot of other people around the world, and maybe even be inspired to see that there is hope and there is survival beyond an experience like that. But something changes inside of you when someone you love and trust tries to murder you, like someone that you sleep next to every night, that you live with. There's something about taking those blows and looking into their face that changes you. I mean, naturally. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but I just want to start by saying people always ask me, why do people stay in abusive relationships? You know, they're adults, they have control of their life, they're free to do whatever they want. I mean, they deserve it. They stay, and it could be forced to do anything. It's just such a joke. I mean, first of all, judging something that you have never experienced, ignorant, you have no idea what it feels like to be in that situation. You have no idea what it feels like to be put in a situation where you're terrified and confused and your body is shocked and your brain is shocked and frozen and you can't react and you're in pain, but the pain is numb and thoughts are going through your head that never gone through your head before. Thoughts of, what did I do to deserve this? What am I doing here right now? Who is this person? Was this always what they were? Did I make them like this? Do I deserve this? All kinds of thoughts, most of which are just not even reasonable, but you can't control the way the brain works. Just human beings trying to get by, and every human being goes through an experience. Every human being is going to face some kind of conflict and obstacle, and has nothing to do with who you are. That's not going to draw this abuse to you. And that's the thing that really upsets me, is that people are so judgmental and they're so harsh on victims of violence because they think that they deserve it. They ask for it. They like it. They stay because they want it. And that's the thing that really drives me to do advocacy work and try to speak out. To think that somebody wants that, to think that somebody wants to be in pain. I was watching Ricky Lake the other day, and I don't really like to watch shows like that, but I have 4 channels on my TV, so I have no choice really. And on Ricky Lake, they had stories of survival, and there was all kinds of stories. There was stories of people that survived the movie theater shooting, and people that survived. Stories was a young girl who was 18 years old who was a convenience store clerk, and she was a victim of a robbery, and the guy had held a knife to her neck, and he robbed the convenience store, and for no other reason than to just rob the store for the money, and he made out with about $1,000, something like that, but he slit the girl's neck twice, and she's changed for life. And some of the things that she said really stuck with me. Like, the only thing that she felt at the time was the cold from the ice cooler and the warmth from her own blood. And everyone in the audience was appalled. And they felt so bad for her. And it's funny to watch the sympathy of strangers when it comes to victims of violence from other strangers, because there's no way you could say they deserved it, and there's no way you could say they asked for it because they were strangers. But yet, when someone is attacked by the person that they love, which is only 1,000 times worse, people feel totally different about it. They have anger towards you. They feel like you did something that caused it, or you made some kind of choice. The situations aren't so different. People don't meet you in the second that they introduce themselves, say, hey, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you 2 years from now. Hey, I'm gonna break your nose, 6 months. I'm gonna isolate you from your family. I'm gonna tell you what to wear. I'm gonna become jealous out of nowhere and trash your house and destroy your belongings. I'm gonna try to kill your cat. I mean, they don't tell you things like this. People that are abusive, first of all, have a history of it, and also they're very strategic, they're very passionate, they treat you like you're everything, and usually you are. People don't know what the signs are. They get into relationships with other people, they fall in love, they open their hearts, they trust, they're in a relationship basically. The signs and the abuse don't come for long after the relationship is established, long after the feelings are there. And then once they're face to face with a violent situation, it's not only a state of shock, but it's also denial. And when it happens, and if it's not violent enough to a point where you're almost murdered like I was, or, there's no way out, sometimes you do stay. There's a lot of reasons to stay. One main reason is that you're being terrorized, you're terrified to leave, they're threatening your family, threatening your friends, following you everywhere, they have you in a constant state of fear. Another reason is you have children together and you can't just walk away, or you share your finances, and in this economic state it's very common that you can't just leave. You don't have money to get up and leave your house and leave all your belongings and just walk out the door. I mean, just take a minute to think about that, what you're asking people to do. Pick up, take one bag, if you even have the time for that, and leave everything, because that means you didn't ask for it, and that means you got safe. That shouldn't be the answer. The answer should be the people that are doing these things should be punished. They're the ones that are hurting people. And furthermore, why is it always, when you're on these shows, these Maury Povich shows and Ricky Lake shows, they have people on there that were abused, and all they say to them is, well, you have to just get out. That's all you, like, they put all the pressure on the victim. It's up to you. It's up to you to get out. It's up to you. You're wrong if you stay. You're asking for it. You're this, you're that. Why are people not focusing their attention on the people abusing them? They're sitting right there. They're on the stage. They're admitting it. They're yelling out to the crowd, I'm in control of her. She's my bitch. Today, when I was watching one of those shows, the guy on the stage was making the wife tie his shoes. He was spitting in her face. The girl's hysterical crying, and the audience is just screaming and screaming. You have to leave him. You're a fool. You're an idiot if you stay. Why aren't they screaming at the abuser? Why aren't they screaming at the guy? You put all this pressure on the girl, but you're going to get out of that relationship if you're lucky, and if you do, he's going to move on and do it to the next girl. And is that really the answer? Is that really what you should be focusing on, is just re-victimizing this person who didn't ask for it because you feel there's really some innate reason, some ultimate reason that they deserved it, that they got stuck with this situation? I mean, it's just not right. It's just getting stuck with any situation. Human beings, come to all kinds of obstacles and conflicts. This is just one of the many, and chances are, statistics say, like 3 out of 4 people have experienced abuse or violence in relationships. I mean, it's really common. Think about media and society and the old school ways. It's a part of culture in many cultures. I mean, it's not something that's just gonna end tomorrow, that you could make a protest and it's gonna go away, or you could, tell people it's wrong and they're gonna stop. And it's time people start asking the abuser, what's wrong with you? And how do we get you to stop doing this? And how do we help the people that you've hurt along the way and make sure you stop doing this to more people and stop destroying lives? Because I could tell you as a survivor, I mean, there is hope. I mean, my quote is, beyond living is survival. Oh, no, I messed it up. Beyond survival is living. Because I feel like there's a whole world out there, and when you're in the situation, you feel like it's never going to end. It's always going to be like this. You see no light at the end of the tunnel, and you just feel alone and miserable, and it doesn't have to be that way, There's other people out there, there's some support. You need to find support, and if you look in the wrong places, you'll get set back so far. I've done that. You tell too many people, you'll be judged, you'll be accused, you'll be just stripped down to nothing. You feel like a shell of a person. I mean, at one point in my life, immediately after my attack, I just felt like my soul was gone, or a part of me was missing, and it would never come back. You're angry at them because you're angry at what they're facing, and you're angry at their situation. Just think for a minute. They've been dealing with nothing but anger, nothing but rage. They're sensitive, they're confused. They could just use a couple of kind words, some consolement, some companionship. Be a little sensitive. I mean, you have no idea what they're going through. You could be so understanding and so compassionate to people that are former drug addicts and former alcoholics who've made decisions to destroy their lives and made decisions to hurt other people, and I feel like the public is much more forgiving of them. But yet victims of abuse are just the outcasts. They're the, bottom of the bucket. And if you look at the people that are attacked, I mean, in my group, I have a weekly self-help group, and there's men, there's women, there's gay, there's bisexual, there's every kind of person, every social class, every age. It doesn't discriminate. It's not a certain kind of person. It's not a weak person or a, evil person or whatever. There's a couple of ways to cope if you are a victim or a survivor. One way is pets. Unconditional love and companionship is huge. Finding a good support system, trying to find a support group or a self-help group that fits your needs, creating your own group, even if it's a online talk forum, a discussion forum. Express yourself. The more you talk about it, the more you come to terms with the situation and separate yourself from it, and you can move forward. See a trauma specialist, not just a regular therapist, because you're a human being, and human beings have a certain way of coping with stress and trauma. It's not your average problem. There's very specific ways that you have to deal with it. There's medications, there's exercises, things that you don't know. You have to get a trained professional to tell you these things, to teach you. What else can you do? Keep a journal. Try to note, the progress that you're making. Focus on the positive stuff, because, that's the hardest part. And please just believe me when I tell you it's not your fault. And you're not alone. It's happening all around you. It's just really comes down to people talking about it and people, owning up to it and not being ashamed and not being vicious towards those who are doing that, who are trying to get help and move past it. I'm 32 years old now. When it happened to me, I was 26. I'm still suffering some of the, after effects, the aftershock, but you know what? I moved past it to a certain extent. Do I have trust issues? Yes. Do I have nightmares? Yes. Anxiety? Yes. Do I have to take medications I never had to take before that led me to take more medications? Yes. I mean, it's all very negative, but you know what? It did cause me to create a self-help group that didn't exist, to try to change policies and our laws in our schools, and try to educate, try to change. I'm just doing this today so that maybe you would also like to post a video blog and speak out about your experience. The more we speak about it, the more that society feels comfortable dealing with the issue. It's an open conversation, the way this world looks at people like me. So, I guess I found some kind of positive in all this negative, and things are going a lot better. I'm at peace in myself to a certain extent. I've become more spiritual and religious. Please feel free to blog any way you can, whether it's, by text, on a website, Facebook, or a video blog on our website, which I would love for you to do. And just join my movement and just do it for yourself and do it for me and all the other survivors out there who really want to hear your story and hear your progress. If we hear that others with hope and others have done it, it only makes us more sure and more positive that we can do it. So take this one opportunity to make your really negative, terrible experience into a somewhat positive. You could help somebody else. Thank you very much for listening to me, and I guess I'll be posting again in a week or so when I get this down. Sorry for torturing you with my rant.